If you're pricing your coaching based on how many Zoom calls you're going to include, the bad news is you've built yourself a job and not a coaching business, because clients don't wake up thinking, I hope he or she gives me 12 sessions today. They wake up thinking, I just want my problem gone, because clients don't pay for effort, they pay for outcomes. So if your pricing is attached to your effort, you'll always be working harder than you're paid, you'll be grossly undercharging, and you'll continually receive objections like, oh, it's not the right time, let me think about it, I don't have the money, it's too expensive, let me talk to my spouse, only to find out that same lead just went to your competitor the week after and bought their program and paid more for it. Now the good news is, this problem has nothing to do with you as a person. It has nothing to do with your level of experience or your talent, or whether or not you're just starting out. The only thing it has to do with is what you've decided to attach your price to. So in this video here, I'll be sharing with you on how to detach your price from your time and how to attach it to the outcome. I'm gonna go through a 3-part framework on how to communicate the offer so you can sell more coaching offers, replace your income sooner, acquire the freedom that you're looking to achieve from your business, and more importantly, create a more meaningful life from doing what you love full time and impacting more lives. I'm also going to share with you on how to present your offer that will instantly increase the conversions without you having to learn any sales script or use any persuasive language, and this is all backed by science and split testing. The final thing we'll cover in this video is pricing psychology, because after you're clear on how to communicate and sell your offer, how to present it, the final part is, what should I price it at? And there is a psychology and science behind that, and that's based on what we're doing right now in our business, where we generated over $10 million cash collected last year. We have a series of awesome free offers, to low ticket offers, to high ticket offers, but also knowing what's working best from our clients and also us investing in ourselves too. In the last 12 months, I've bought $2,000 coaching programs, $5,000 coaching programs, $25,000 coaching programs, $100,000 coaching programs, and even $350,000 coaching programs. And so I've studied which offers are working best right now, but more importantly, the pricing psychology behind it. So the first principle is the promise, which is, what outcome are you going to help your clients achieve from your coaching offer? And to really understand on how to detach the outcome from your effort and your time, I want to go through a story that will really land home for you. And it's not a real story, but this story will allow you to understand this concept. So there was this guy who had a toothache, and it started off as a very, very kind of mild ache. It wasn't bothering him too much, and he thought, I'll just leave it, I'll just see how it goes. Now, that toothache started getting worse. A couple of days later, it did not get better, it got worse, to the point where now every time he drank cold water, it started to hurt. He thought, you know what, that's gonna get better, but it didn't. He left it for a few days, to the point where now anytime he ate any sort of food or put any liquid in his mouth, whether it's warm or cold, it got worse, and it made him so painful that he couldn't eat or drink. And he thought, you know what, I'll leave it for a couple of days, see if it gets better, but it didn't. After a couple of days, now he's got this aching headache, and his jaw is so sore, and he couldn't even sleep, to the point where now he was almost debilitated. And so he finally realized that he probably should see a dentist about this. And so he walked into a dental clinic and said, "Look, my tooth, it's been aching. I really need someone to look at it. I know you're probably busy. Can you see me now?" And they were fully booked out, but he was begging because he was in so much pain. He couldn't eat, he couldn't sleep, he couldn't function. And they slotted him in the afternoon at 5 p.m. when they're meant to close, and the dentist squeezed him in as an emergency patient. Now, the dentist sat him down, asked him his symptoms, and put out some tools, and then did his magic. 2 minutes later, the pain is gone. And the guy's like, "You're a genius. How did you do that?" "It's what I do." Brings him to the front counter to cover the bill. And the dentist pulls out the bill and says, "That'll be $1,300. And the guy's like, $1,300? You're a ripoff. That was only 2 minutes of work. You charged me $1,300 for 2 minutes? This is a scam." The dentist's like, "Okay, sir, no problems." Takes the bill back, pulls him back to dental chair and says, "Come back with me," sits him down and says, "Okay, sir, let me do the same operation, but I'll take 4 hours." The guy's like, ah. See? It's not about how much effort and time, it's about producing the outcome. And that dentist had a skill set that he could produce the outcome in that time that not many other dentists could do. But more importantly, even if someone else could do it, it would have cost the same even if it took 3 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours, because you charge for the outcome. And that dentist charged for the outcome. So that's what I mean about charging for outcomes. No one wants to spend more time with you. As great as it sounds, what they want is just their problem gone. I'll give you another example. I used to be an optometrist for 10 years. I've done over 20,000 eye tests. Yes, stuck in a 3-meter room, which is 10 feet, and it's around about 8 feet wide, 10 feet long, testing eyes, one or two. I've done 20,000 eye tests. Now, anytime they would review my pay to get a pay rise, or anytime I would ask for a pay rise, here's the measurements they looked at for my pay rise. Number one, they looked at my client retention or patient retention. So how many of my patients came back to me after a 12-month and 24-month period? Because how many patients come back to see me is a sign of how good I am doing. It's not how good I say I am, it's whether they come back to see me again. The second thing was the referrals. So they had a referral system, and how many people, new patients come in and they said, oh, yep, Richmond, I heard Richmond was great. And they saw that and they came in. So then a referral was a KPI. Then the other KPI was how many rescripts did I do? So if we tested eyes and we prescribed glasses and the glasses, were not to the person's liking, or maybe it wasn't as clear as they wanted, or it caused them headaches, and we had to recheck their prescription, that's called a recheck. Now, some optometrists were really bad optometrists and they had a high recheck rate, or the patients would just go elsewhere, get it rechecked by someone more competent so they get better glasses. And so your level of competency is not based on how good you say you are or how much time you spend with them, it's based on how many times they need recheck. And my recheck script scenario or KPI was very, very low. The fourth KPI they looked at was my client conversions or patient conversions. So how many of my patients out of, say, 100 patients ended up buying glasses or ended up buying something from the retail side of the business? And if conversions were 60% compared to someone else who's 40%, then obviously I'm doing something better to build trust so they buy more glasses. The fifth KPI they looked at was then what was the average sale price of each person that bought the glasses compared to another optometrist that was in the practice. And so the average sale price was an indication of their level of conviction in what I was doing and also just the whole process. And so they looked at those KPIs. And that would warrant, okay, Richmond, you did these, you produced these outcomes and results for our business. Yes, we can give you a pay rise. Now, what they never looked at was how long did I do the eye test for? Did I do every examination? Did the eye test take 3 minutes or 30 minutes or an hour? Did I do a retinal scan? Did I do a visual field test? Did I see a certain amount of kids? Did I do a convergence test? Did I refer to ophthalmologists? None of that mattered, and it didn't matter on even my level of experience. Was I just a brand new optometrist 2 years out of university compared to someone that's been out for 20 years? That wasn't even the key. The key was my retention good, referrals good, rescript good, conversions good, and average sale price good per customer. And that was what warranted a pay rise because they were measuring on outcomes. And for me, I love that because it meant that there was no cap to how much I could earn, because if I get those numbers up, then I can also demand higher pay because I'm also producing better outcomes, not more effort. And if I can get the outcomes with less effort, even better. But can you see now how when you start thinking in outcomes and attaching outcomes to pricing, that's the thing that matters most because that's what your client wants most. And if you're in a career right now, whether you're an optometrist or corporate career or whatever career you're in right now and you want a pay rise, well, the only way you can justify a pay rise is if you produce more outcomes for your boss, but not more time. Because the reality is your employer wants more outcomes, not more of your time. Now, I'm going to give you the 3-part framework on how to communicate the outcome. You won't find this anywhere else. And this would change the way you communicate, because most people, when they're communicating an offer, they start communicating all the features, all the benefits, all the bits. Like this microwave has three automated buttons, and this air fryer has this heat setting, and this stainless. I'm making this example up, but like this grill here, and it's black and it's ceramic. Who cares? How long does it take to heat up? Does it cook evenly? And does it produce for me yummy food? Like that's the only outcome. So this is how you communicate in outcomes. And when you do it this way, it forces you to only communicate in outcomes. And it's almost impossible to talk about features and pieces when you do it this way. So what is the offer? What does it do for the client, and what does it mean for them? It is the is, does, means framework. So let me give you an example, okay? This is my tiny challenge book, okay? What it is, it's my tiny challenge book. It's a framework on how you can get a paying client without learning how to speak, without being on camera, without understanding the tech, and all of you can get started right now to get your first paying client in your coaching business in the fastest, easiest way. What it does for you is it finally breaks the ice that now you are a legit paid coach. Because I know what it's like to get your first client. Your offer is now validated, you have a proof of concept, but more importantly, there's a shift in your identity that this stuff works and now it's legitimate. What that really means for you is now you can have some hope and also confidence that this business can work for you. Is, does, means. Now, what did I not do? I didn't say this book here has 169 pages. It's got 12 chapters. It's got easy to follow steps. It's been forwarded by Russell Brunson, which is nice. Forwarded by Russell Brunson, the co-founder of ClickFunnels, the goat of marketing. I didn't say all this. I didn't say the blurb is amazing. I didn't say it's got pictures in there. I just said what it is, what it does for you, and what it means for you. I just communicated to you the outcome. See how I just did that? Let me give you another example. So in our inner circle, point one, this is our 30K Mastermind, which currently, at the point of this video, we have over 200 people in there. So what is point one? Point one is our inner circle mastermind. What does it do for you? It allows you to get more direct access to me so that you can move forward faster, because the correlation of how fast you move is pointed towards who you spend time with. And so if you're looking to get there faster by having nuanced, tailored advice and direct access to the creator of the Tiny Challenge model, so you don't have to figure it out on your own, you don't have to be overwhelmed, you don't have to guess anymore, then this is for you. But the main thing is it's about speed. So if you're looking to get there faster and more short way, it's my inner circle. What does that mean for you? It means that for finally, this can be the year that you transition to full-time coaching when you've been trying for the last 3 or 4 years straight without any traction. And what it really means is that now the people around you can feel proud of you, because maybe your spouse or your husband right now is thinking, oh my gosh, here she is investing in another program, when is she gonna make it? And they're starting to doubt you. But you still have some hope left. So what it means is finally, you can have the certainty and conviction that you're going to build something great for yourself and something meaningful and impact more lives, but more importantly, create a really healthy income for yourself and your family, because they deserved it, because they've been supporting you all this time. Now, see what I just said there? The is, does, means. I didn't tell you how many group calls we had. I didn't tell you how long the calls are. I didn't tell you if there's any one-on-one coaching. I didn't talk to you about the library. I didn't talk to you about the workbooks. I didn't talk to you about what time the calls are on. I didn't talk to you about if we have any events or anything like that. I just told you what it is, what it does for you, and what it means. If you're loving this, go ahead, type in the chat screen, loving this, because this is fire and this is gold right here, right now. So that's how you communicate the offer in outcomes. I challenge you to test it out. I really challenge you to test it in any niche. In grief coaching, for example, in grief coaching, let me give you one final example. So if you're a grief coach and you help widows overcome grief, and you have I'll give you an example of my client Darlene, who went from about $6,000 annually to now over $100,000 a year. And it took her about 13 months to get there. And she's a grief coach, and she's got a program called Recovery to Discovery. And so, what's the program? Her program is Recovery to Discovery. What does it do for widows? It allows them to overcome grief in a way that honors their late husband. So they can finally have the peace of mind that they're doing something good for their loved ones and themselves, and remove all the guilt from being a widow. It also allows them to have a clear path on how to transition into this new season and new chapter of their life, because there's no book about how to navigate this murky road. What it means is they can feel supported, they have clarity, but more importantly, that they can transition through this period, because at the end of the day, that's what their late husband would have wanted for them to do. So now I've just addressed the outcome of the program. I didn't talk about how many group calls you get. I didn't talk about how much one-on-one you get. I didn't talk about what time the calls, how long the calls, or anything like that. I just demonstrated and communicated the outcome for grief coaching. What it is, what it does, what it means. This is the three-part framework. Now, I'm going to talk about the second part, is now how do you present the offer. So this is a part of the presentation, but I want to go one level deeper, because this is the part that's going to increase your conversions even more. So talking in outcomes and communicating outcomes will instantly increase your conversions. This next part I'm going to share with you will do it even more, without you having to memorize any sales scripts, without you having to use any persuasive language. And in fact, you don't even need to do any sales training for this. And so I'm going to use McDonald's as an example for this. Imagine you went to McDonald's, and you know, in the old days, and you go to McDonald's and they always offer you, like, you order, whatever you order, offer you an upsize, like large Coke, large fries, burger, drink, blah, blah, blah. But now when you go to fast food, they have those digital menus. And on those digital menus, you order what you need to order, and then there's always some sort of pop-up that says, would you like A, B, C with this? And you either tick yes, add to cart, or no, and then you go to checkout. But they only really put one or two things in front of you and hope that you say yes. Now, how many of you think that whatever they put in front of you makes a huge difference to their profit margin? Because if they put the right thing in front of you, they're going to make a lot of money. But if they put the wrong thing in front of you and everyone's thinking no, it's going to impact their margins massively. Now, McDonald's has over 100 menu items on its menu. Now, if you went in and ordered a small fries and you know it's going to offer you something as an upsell, have you ever wondered what the highest converting upsell is? It's interesting, because you'll probably say yes to something on the menu, but they can't put 100 things in front of you and say, would you like this, would you like this, would you like this? And you're there ticking no 100 times. Because that will be the worst buying experience and you'll never go back. And so if they could only have one shot or one opportunity to put something in front of you so that you hopefully say yes, so they increase their margins, what would be the thing they put in front of you? Because once you say no, that's done. That's their shot gone. So I want you to really think about this. If I ordered a small fries, what would McDonald's need to put in front of me so that they get the highest chance of conversions? Would it be a Big Mac? Would it be a large fries? Would it be a supersize? Would it be a meal? Would it be another burger? Would it be something special they have, like a $2 cheeseburger? Would it be chicken nuggets? Would it be sauce? Would it be a drink? Cola? Would it be a sundae? Would it be an apple pie? Would it be cookies? What would it be in front of me that would be the highest chance of me saying, oh yes, you know what it is? And you might want to write this down, because this will increase the conversions dramatically. It is this. It's called more of the same. Every time you offer more of the same to someone that just ordered that thing, you will always make more money because you are not guessing. So if I ordered a small fries, what do you know about me that day? You know that I feel like fries, I like fries, I can eat fries. I'm not allergic to fries. And so it just makes logical sense that if I ordered a small fries, then large fries will be like, oh yeah, okay, I'll just get a large, especially if it's a great offer. Or if I ordered a large fries, and then what's the next logical step? Another large fries, especially if it's a great order. Now, anytime you offer me anything outside of large fries or a small fries, you are 100% guessing. Because if you offered, say, a drink or a soda, I might be off soda this year. I might have a New Year's resolution where I don't drink soda. I might not be drinking sugar. Maybe I don't like sugar. Maybe I don't feel like a soda today. Maybe I've already got one. It doesn't know if I got one. Maybe I already got one. So anytime you offer anything outside that, you are 100% guessing. Now, if you offer a burger, maybe he wants a burger with the fries. I mean, they go hand in hand. But I might be gluten intolerant. I may not want a burger. I may not even eat beef. If you offer chicken nuggets, I may hate the chicken there. If you offer a sundae, I might be lactose intolerant. I might be allergic to dairy. I may not just want to eat sweets. I may be off sweets. I just don't feel like an ice cream today. So anytime you offer anything outside more of the same, you are 100% guessing. And so anytime you offer more of the same, that gives you the highest probability of them saying yes because you are not guessing and you know exactly what they want. So how does this relate to the overall grand scheme of your business when you're presenting offers? So when you're presenting someone an offer, they came to you via something beforehand. So you just don't get someone on the call unless they commented on a hand-raising post online, or maybe they went to a webinar, or maybe they sat in your tiny challenge, or maybe they saw a PDF, or maybe they watched a YouTube video and they entered like this free resource, or they came from the VSL. Like they came from you from somewhere, and whatever they came from you from somewhere, there was a subject line, there was a hook, there was a topic, there was an agenda on that thing that you taught or that you shared about. Well, guess what? That's the small fries they came in on. And that means when you present your is, does, mean statement, make sure your is, does, mean statement matches the small fries. So that's the nuance there. So when the is, does, mean statement matches the small fries, then you have a winner. So let me give you an example. If someone came in with a small fry, if someone came in to order small fries because they were hungry, and they came into your restaurant and you had an upsell and you tried to do a burger, this is where it will go wrong. Okay, so I see you ordered a small fry. So would you like the upsell of the whole meal, the burger and the drink? Because what it does is we've got a special offer. It's going to make you even more satisfied and more full. And what it really means for you is that, you know what, you will just have a food coma. And I just totally made that up. That person's like, no thanks. I don't even feel like a burger. I just want fries. Now, if you did the fry version, it'd be like, hey, sir, I noticed you ordered a small fries. Now, we have a special offer. You can upgrade to a large fry for only an extra 10 cents. The offer is going to go away today. But seeing that you already ordered small fries, you can get twice as much for an extra 10 cents, which is not that much. And what it means is you get this awesome deal. I know you already feel like fries. You can share it with a friend, or maybe you can save for later, or maybe you can just have this awesome opportunity. What that really means is, you know what? You walk out saying, you know what? I'm glad this person offered me that today. I'm going to show this to all my friends today because I got the best deal ever. And then I have to guess. See what I did is, does, means? And so you can even do that for fries. So if they came in from a lead magnet, or they came in from a VSL, or they came in from a tiny challenge, or they came in from wherever it is, make sure what they came in through and what they put their hand up on and what they just watched or consumed, the way you present your offer is going to be presented is, does, means in a fashion of more of the same. If this is valuable, go ahead, type in the chat screen below, valuable. I really believe of everything you've seen online about offer creation and pricing your offer and how to present it, this is probably, I dare say, I'll put my hand up for it, one of the most simplest, easiest to implement, but effective trainings you've ever seen on this topic. So the third thing I want to talk about is now pricing, because now you know how to detach outcomes to effort. You know how to present it in is, does, means, and the concept of more of the same. I want to talk about pricing. So there's three things when we consider pricing that I want you to think about. And there's strategy, but also mindset below that as well. So pricing is based on three things. Number one, okay, what's the actual market rate of the thing that you're selling? What's the market rate? And so, for example, the average rate of, say, general life coaching, if the person doesn't have a brand, might be $5,000 for 6 months. That's kind of the general rate. The general rate of, say, personal training, if you're going to the gym, you've got 10 sessions of personal trainers, the average rate, market rate is about $800 for 10 sessions. Like, that's the market rate. So what's the market rate of what you're charging? And if you're not sure, you can do market research by just going through AI or chat and just ask. Or you can just ask some of your peers. You have some friends in the community that know, so you kind of get a vibe of that. What's the market rate? Now, that's the first ever pricing. But the second thing is this. It's, do you have a brand? Because if you have a brand, you can charge more. If you don't have a brand, you can't charge as much for the same thing. So for example, if you deliver exact same life coaching as Tony Robbins, but Tony Robbins charges $1 million plus a piece of the upside and he's got a 7-year waiting list, well, you're not going to be able to charge $1 million for the same thing because you don't have a brand. Even if you did the same thing, because people will pay more for a brand. For example, there's a reason why people pay $40,000 for a Hermes handbag when it does the same thing as a $20 handbag from Kmart. Because it's the brand. When you have a brand, you can charge way more than what the market is. The third area of pricing is actually the most important for where you're at right now, but arguably for where everyone is at. And it's this. It's your conviction. Basically, how much do you believe that you can pitch it at? And your conviction with your brand, with the market rate, gives you this sweet spot called your pricing. But if we were to make this super simple, for example, if you don't have a brand and the market rate is $5,000 for your coaching offer, and your conviction is through the roof, and you know it's worth it, and you can pitch $5,000 without $5,000 without hesitating, then great, charge $5,000. Maybe even charge 6 or 7. But if your conviction is like, oh my gosh, I know the market rate, I know I don't have a brand, I know people are selling it, but I'm just so scared because I've never done it before, I'm just worried they're going to say no, and you pitch the offer and you're like, oh, it's $5,000. Well, don't pitch it at $5,000 because your conviction's not there. What are people really buying? So they're buying outcomes for sure. They're buying what it is, what it does, what it means for them. They're buying more of the same, but ultimately, this is the secret. As long as there's trust there between you and that person, which I assume there is because you're on the call with them, you're talking to them, whatever the case may be, they're buying your conviction. This is what they're buying. And the more conviction you have, the more they believe in you and the result and the outcome. Because at the end of the day, they are looking for conviction in departing for their money, that this is going to be a good deal, but more importantly, this is going to solve the problem they have right now. And for someone to part their time, their effort, their energy, and their money to you, what they're really looking for is how confident are you of getting a result. You can have a person that has a lot of conviction and another brand can outsell a person that has a brand but no conviction because they haven't resolved it. So what should you price your offer at? It is this. Number one, always charge less than what it's worth. So if you believe the value proposition, like for you to change someone's life in life coaching or grief coaching or divorce coaching or relationship coaching or business coaching, that result is worth $50,000 to them or $100,000 to them, or it's going to save them $100,000, then you should be charging $5,000 to $10,000. You shouldn't charge $100,000 if the value you're giving them is $100,000. So for example, if I can help you make an extra $100,000 this year, then it will be fair for me to say, okay, I'm going to charge you $100,000 so you break even and then you can have that income for the rest of your life. That would be fair to say. That's what universities do. They charge what it is worth. But that's not a good pricing strategy. You should charge less than what it's worth because then that means they're getting a great deal and you can have more conviction. You should always be over-delivering, which means you always be charging less than what it's worth. By default, that allows you to over-deliver. So if you're promising a $100,000 outcome, whether it's tangible, intangible, you should be charging at least 10 times less than that so that they are getting a great deal, so that you are over delivering, so they're getting more than what they paid for. That's what value proposition is, and the person that can add more value in the marketplace compared to their competitors is a person that wins. And so that's the key. So number one, charge less than what it's worth. But why is that really important? Because then that gives you a level of conviction that they are getting a great deal. And so, for example, if you know that the market rate's $5,000 and you don't really have a brand, but you have and you're about to present that $5,000 on a call, but your conviction at $5,000 is only like a 6 out of 10, and you know you're going to quiver, you know you're going to shake, you know you're going to get nervous and anxious and bomb it and choke, then the question I ask my students is this: okay, if we drop the price down to $4,000, where's your conviction now? They'll be like, oh, $4,000, probably 8 out of 10. Okay, not enough. Okay, if we drop the price down where you pitched it at $3,000, what's your conviction now? Oh, that's a 10 out of 10. Yeah, that's cheap. That's a no-brainer. Great. If we dropped it down to $2,000 or $2,500, where's your conviction now? They're like, $2,500? That's 11 out of 10. Great. Pitch that one on your first offer. Because I need you to have that level of conviction so that you can come to that call and say, you know what, it's $2,000, it's $2,500. I know, it's so cheap. And that's why if you don't say yes now, I'm going to put my price up. That's the energy you want to bring. And when you bring that energy with is, does, means, and doing more of the same, game over. And once you sell that first one at $2,500, you're like, oh my gosh, it worked. It worked. You do it again. Oh my gosh, it worked again. It wasn't a fluke. Do it again. Oh my gosh, 3 times. It wasn't a fluke. Wow. And now you start delivering it, and now you know the value of the offer, and now you know, that's crazy. I can't believe I'm doing it. I feel like I'm soliciting myself. The next time I'm raising it to 3.5 now. At 3.5, where's your conviction now? It's still 11 out of 10. Great, sell it at 3.5. And keep on doing that and incrementally increase it until the point where you increase it to $5,000 where it's 11 out of 10 conviction. You must always sell when your conviction is at its highest, and that's where the pricing is. And that's why it's subjective for everyone. Because I don't know what the answer is for you, but whatever the market rate is, if you quiver at presenting that at that price point, then drop it down until you have conviction and be proud of it, because then you know they are getting a great deal, and it's only a matter of time where you get so many yeses from this no-brainer offer because they're buying your conviction, that then you can raise your prices, and then eventually you can build your brand from client results and then raise it even more. And that's how you get freedom. That's how you build your brand. One client at a time, one price at a time. So ladies and gentlemen, I trust this video was super useful to you. There you have it, how to price your coaching offer in today's world, in 2026 and beyond, so you can sell more, impact more lives, create more freedom. If this was useful to you and you actually want to learn on how to get your first paying client without posting any content, I have a video on my channel called How to Get Your First Coaching Client without posting any content. This is boss. I even give you a script on what to do and where to find that person as well. I also have another video if you're thinking, okay, now how do I market my offer continually without being on camera, without understanding the tech, and without having any following? How do I continually market it? Because I want to sell one every week. I want to sell 2 every week. I want to sell multiple of these every month. How do I continually market it? I also have another video on my channel called What is a Tiny Challenge? The Tiny Challenge is the simplest, fastest, easiest way for you to sell your coaching offer without a list, without being on camera, without a following, without knowing the tech, without worrying about a launch, without worrying about no one showing up to your thing. It's a great video. It shows exactly how to do it. Check it out right now. For now, keep believing and never settle.